Myrtle Warren was a witch born in the late 1928 to a Muggle mother and father, making her a Muggle-born. She started her education at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft in Weasley in 1914. When she arrived at Hogwarts, she was sorted into the House of Ravenclaw. Depending on the month she was born in, she may have been in the same year as Gryffindor Rubeus Hagrid. While at Hogwarts, she was unable to make any friends and was constantly teased and bullied because of this and her physical appearance, which included glasses and acne. Myrtle hardly ever smiled and took great offense at the smallest slight, crying rivers of tears and wailing, hence her nickname Moaning Myrtle. She was often upset so badly that she tried to kill herself. In 1943, sometime into Myrtle's education, the Chamber of Secrets was opened for the first time. The Chamber of Secrets was a legendary chamber built by Salazar Slytherin, and inside was a beast that only his ear could control. It was believed that Rubeus Hagrid had opened the chamber because he was called Horizon Aragog and Acromantula, but it was actually Tom Marvolo Riddle or Voldemort. Hogwarts was soon facing closer, as Muggle-born students were being mysteriously attacked by the mythical beast thought to be down inside the chamber. On her final day of life, Myrtle was teased by students Olive Hornby. She had made fun of Myrtle's glasses, and as a result, left Myrtle sobbing. Myrtle then ran into one of the bathroom stalls and started crying. Shortly after Myrtle had entered the bathroom, Riddle entered and started speaking in Berthethong in order to open the Chamber of Secrets, the entrance of which was hidden behind the sink in front of the fairy stall occupied by Myrtle at the time. The monster of Slytherin, a basilisk, then emerged from the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. The monster had been using the pipes as a means of transportation, as to not be seen or therefore never being caught. Myrtle, still in one of the stalls, recognized the voice as being from a boy. Opening the stall's door, she was about to yell at Riddle to go away. On Riddle's command, the basilisk stared at Myrtle, and her eyes met with the monster's, since looking into a basilisk's eyes in a fatal act. Myrtle was killed instantly, and her body fell to the bathroom floor, becoming Voldemort's first victim. Voldemort used her murder to make his first Horcrux, the diary. Myrtle's body was later found by Hornby, something that Hornby would not soon forget. Myrtle's body was removed from the school after the discovery. Nobody missed me even when I was alive. Took them hours and hours to find my body. Following her death, Myrtle returned as a ghost so she could haunt student Olive Hornby in revenge of her rebellion. Olive went to the Minister of Magic to restrain Myrtle, who was thereafter obligated to remain at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft in Weasley. Ever since, Myrtle re-entered the bathroom where she had died, although she was sometimes seen in other bathrooms, and was even flashed into the lake occasionally. As a result of her haunting, her lavatory grave was rarely used, and was thus available for secret activities, such as forbidden potion brewing, as long as one did not mind the company. In the 1992 school year, the chamber was opened again, 15 years after its previous opening by Ginny Weasley, who was possessed by the diary of early opener Tom Riddle. The diary was a Horcrux, though it was described as a memory at the time. Myrtle later flooded the bathroom in a fit of pique when Ginny tried to dispose of the diary by flushing it down the toilet in Myrtle's stall. In the same year, Nellie Headless Nick made a Death Day party. Both Piffs and Myrtle attended. When Piffs heard Hermione Granger complaining about Myrtle, he found it as the perfect time to cause trouble. Piffs called Myrtle over. Myrtle did not look happy to see him, but Piffs informed her that Hermione was talking about her. Myrtle, assuming she was talking behind her back, ran off crying. Piffs seemed to enjoy her pain. Hermione Granger used Myrtle's bathroom in 1992 to brew Polyjuice Potion, which Harry Potter and Ron Weasley used to impersonate Slytherin students Goyle and Crabbe. They entered the Slytherin common room to interrogate Draco Malfoy about the Chamber of Secrets. They learned only that according to Draco's father Lucius Malfoy, the last time the chamber was opened, a Mudblood was killed, and that, contrary to their suspicion, Draco was not the heir of Slytherin. Harry and Ron later learned from Aragog, the Acromantuna, that the murdered student had been killed in a bathroom, and Harry realized that the student must have been Myrtle. Myrtle was flattered by Harry's request that she tell the story of her death, the manner of which was one of the most interesting events of her short life. It is possible that Harry was the first person to treat it as something worth asking about. Myrtle remembered only having seen a pair of enormous yellow eyes. Oh, it was dreadful. It happened right in there. I'd hidden because Oliver Hornby was teasing me about my glasses. The door was locked, and I was crying. And then I heard somebody come in. They said something funny, a different language. I think it must be. Anyway, what really got me was that it was a boy speaking. So I locked the door to tell him to go and use his own toilet. And then I died. Apparently, she never informed anyone about her death until she told Harry, Ron, and Lockhart. It is unknown why she never told Armando Depet or Albus Dumbledore about the cause of her death. It is possible that shortly after her death, she was too distraught to talk about it. But neither Harry nor Ron recognized that this is a clue that the monster was a basilisk. Hermione had already deduced the monster's nature by library research before she was petrified, so Myrtle's clue was of no particular importance. During the 1994 school year, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft in Wizardly hosted the Triwizard Tournament. Before the second disc, the champions had to solve the mystery behind their golden eggs, which when opened emitted a harsh, screeching sound. The secret was the nose became speech when heard underwater. One champion, Cedric Diggory, decided to meditate upon the clue in Prefect's bathroom. Myrtle spied on Cedric in the tub, admitting to Harry that it took Cedric a long time to figure it out. Nearly all the bubbles in the bath were gone by the time he cracked it. Cedric later suggested to Harry Potter that he take his egg to the Prefect's bathroom. With Myrtle's hint, Harry was able to decipher the riddle. Myrtle also appeared to Harry while he was in the Black Lake and pointed him in the right direction to find the village of the Merry People, thereby helping him to reach the tournament hall stages before the other champions. In 1997, Draco Malfoy confided in Moaning Myrtle about his failed attempt to assassinate Albus Dumbledore. Myrtle comforted him, feeling that she understood him, though in fact his situation was nothing like hers. He's sensitive, people bully him too, and he feels lonely and hasn't got anybody to talk to, and he's not afraid to show his feelings and cry. When Draco and Harry engage in a violent duel, Myrtle as usual enjoyed the spectacle. The last time Myrtle was seen by Harry Potter was when she was ordered to leave the bathroom by Severus Snape. Though never seen or mentioned, Ron and Hermione may have seen Myrtle when they went back down the Chamber of Secrets to destroy Hufflepuff's coffin Deathly Hallows. In 2020, in an alternate reality created, interference from Albus Potter and Scorpius Malfoy resulted in Cedric Diggory's badly losing in the first take of Triwizard Tournament. The two sought a way to reach Hogwarts Great League, unsatisfied with the changes they had made. They hoped to interfere with Diggory in the second disc as well, but in order to do so, needed a means to reach the grounds. They realized that they could do so from the pipes in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. Upon seeing them, Myrtle said it had been a while since there have been boys in her bathroom, but noted that she had a soft vote for Potters and was one patriot to a Malfoy as well. As such, she helped them by showing them how they could access a pipe to reach the lake. After they did so, Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy, Ginny Weasley arrived in the bathroom. At Harry's request, Myrtle explained to him what the boys had told her about their plans to save the life of Diggory, noting that she could never keep anything from him. She also described him as becoming handsomer, as he had aged, and taller as well.